Guys, we all are aware that P.W. Brother house was demolished by the government, and then many of us don't know anything about it. So now the lawyer of P.W. have come out to give us the full gist of what happened, why it was demolished, if it's legal or illegal. Take a listen. Let's take a listen, guys, and then let me get your own views in the comment section.
Correct an impression. The first impression is that the property belongs to the company called Next Foods Limited. Next Foods Limited. Yes, his youngest brother is the majority shareholder of that company. Correct? Legal and factual decision. Then, that property was purchased in 2011. If you have access, and I definitely will find a way to send across the deed of assignment, the agreement, you see that that property was purchased in 2011. Governor's consent of the governor of Lagos State was granted in 2013. If you look at the deed of assignment that it was used to do the consent, you will also see that it chronicled the history of that property. Right from Western Nigeria, when the land registry was at Ibadan, you see the history of the property, up to when the last people sold it. The last people were people that were granted, or rather their predecessor died leaving no will, meaning that he died intestate. That's wrong. Leaving no estate. Are you getting my point? Meaning the man died intestate. And then they did the letters of registration, regularized them, and registered them. You can see that the deed of assignment traced the history of the land entirely. And then the title was registered, I think, at 240 something, 240, whatever. I can't remember precisely the number. It is there in the deed of assignment. I will give it to you. Governor's consent granted. Now, yes, when this new event unfolded, it came in the form of first on Friday last week. I was called upon that some people came to levy execution. I said, what happened? I spoke to the gate man there, the security man there. What did they come with? He said they didn't come with anything. I said it's not true. There was no way they would not come with a paper. He insisted on getting the paper they came with. Eventually got them to give him the paper. And I read through the Form 41. He was even talking about 5,700 wood, and the order was to recover goods and chattels. Sorry, I have not mentioned that the property, the case was between Deborah along Lobo versus persons unknown. Unknown persons.
Is it not strange?
It is doable in law, but there must be a second person who ought to be there. And then, now, I don't want to go into other because there are technical legal issues that will be fought in the open court. Now, I asked the Malam, did you do any transaction with anybody that you're owing 5,700? If you're owing them, go and pay. What happened? The Malam was insistent that he had no dealings with anybody. Talk less of the Deborah. I said, okay, we need to go to the registry, trace the origin. I then told him, you see the reason why I insisted on the document, because from the document, I could see the suit number. So I said, with this enables us to go to the registry to unravel whatever happened. We went to the registry and traced the matter to a particular court. And then we went to get the certified true copies of the processes filed in the matter. When we went through it, we discovered that she commenced an originating summons is simply for the court perhaps to interpret a document where there will be no controversy. Circumstances where parties don't even have anything to fight or controvert. You just look at the document and interpret it. That was how the process was commenced. Again, the process, was seeking for possession of the property. Not title, but just possession. Perhaps that took me on further inquiry. We now went through the affidavit in support, and discovered that the apparent impression created before the court was that there were squatters on the land, on the property, the first property with that building you're seeing being demolished. That there were squatters, that she owned the property, and that she traveled to go and attend to her husband who was sick. By the time she came back, she now saw squatters on the land. I will not blame the judge, and I stand firmly here to say I will not blame the judge. The reason I say so is that the process going through the file, we were also able to see that there was a motion for substituted service. That is, for services to be effected otherwise than personal or than on the company. Meanwhile, you can't even serve a company by substituted means. These are issues for the court. When we get there, we will pontificate and fight these things out. Naturally, again, my thinking told me, because I saw evidence of service, the property is located on what you call a corner piece, meaning there is a street here, there's another street by this other way. So what they did, from what I could see, is that they went to this other side, which is a bit hidden, pasted on that gate, small gate there, and then my thinking too, which I believe I truly may be right, was that having pasted, the bailiff snapped, and apparently they got somebody to come and remove it. They did that for the originating process, that is the originating summons. They also, the court insisted, and very rightly too, that they serve hearing notices by same substituted means. They did it, but I can assure you it was same approach. But I would not blame a judge who would be in his chamber. What he saw was evidence that his order, go and serve by substituted means, by posting on the gate, on the premises, or the wall of the premises, was effected. So that was what was done. They posted there. And then after a while, judgment was given. Judgment given in 2024. They waited from 2024. When they were supposed to do something within 6 months, that is another legal issue. They waited until this June 2025 to come and do the execution. We saw all that. We have read everything, and we have filed our own processes to show that, truly speaking, we are the owners of the property. Nobody served us. We are not aware of the dependency of the matter at all. We never knew. All we saw was this. So these are the issues which we will pontificate in court. And I am convinced that we're told that by the time the court listens to our own side of the story, I see no reason why we will not be successful. The suit was filed in 2023. We got judgment in 2024. Now they are
in 2024, sir.
They got it May 2024. But as I talk, I also saw the flash, the CFO obtained in 2025. Are you getting it? You got judgment. You filed a suit before the CFO in 2023. You got judgment, meaning you ended the case in 2024. You now went to obtain a CFO in 2025. Prior to that, I also can tell you that what they used was the federal CFO obtained from the Federal Minister of Works in Ikoyi, Lagos. That was what they used in filing the suit. That CFO was also obtained in 2021. But we had our own governor's consent in 2013.
Is there anything wrong with the federal CFO?
That is an issue for me. I believe we'll confirm that. I don't think that federal CFO is applicable to Ikeja GRA. I do not think so. But I'll dig further deep into that. Then too, I wonder whether at this particular point in time, you see me getting CFO in respect of Ikeja GRA. Develop place like that people have owned properties, registered. You should be talking about governance consent. Governance consent means, Governor, I have transacted, I have done something with regards to this property. Give me your permission because of what the Land Use Act dictated. That's why you need governance consent. And of course, a CFO is also akin to governance consent. It's the same thing. So if we had our own in 2013, can you, several years thereafter, go and get your own? It's not possible. And then to also show the court that, which the court also knows, the law is at the heart of the court. The court knows more than I do. The court is where we derive, this is a fountain of legal knowledge of law. The CFO, ipso facto, simpliciter, cannot change any transaction that has illegality or invalidity under it. With regards to land, you must go back to the root. If the root of title is tainted with invalidity or illegality or irregularity, a CFO obtained whichever way will not regularize that position.
So what demand will we be making?
Sorry?
What demand will we be making?
First, we made a demand for an order. For joinder, we want to be joined as parties to that case. We also sought leave for the processes to be amended to incorporate the name of our client, the Next Foods. We have an application seeking to vacate, set aside that judgment. We have a leg that seeks to stay further execution. We have a leg that seeks for injunction pending a hearing of the substantive matter. We also have a leg where we are saying convert this originating summons into pleading, so that parties, let him file a statement of claim, we file our defense, we go to trial fully. Therefore, the court will be in a position to hear both sides and form an opinion one way or the other.
Please, may we know properly who you are?
My name is Emeka Okpoko S.A.N.
You are a counsel to
Next.
Yes, I'm the counsel to Next Foods Limited.
But do you see any government hand in all this, even though everybody is denying?
I myself will not join in thinking in that direction. I'm a lawyer. So first is that I see issues from the lawyer's angle. Therefore, what I'm seeing is the process filed in court, the argument presented before the court, the documents attached to the to the processes filed in court. My own is to go and do law. Politicians should play politics. Social media people should also do their social media work.
Between 2011 when that project was just and this time we're having this problem, did anybody, that property have any issue?
No issue. Our people were there. Security men were there. They were there. But they moved them out. They first told them to carry their properties. We thought it was a joke. From there, this thing degenerated.
But as a company, has it not been paying tax to
We
Lagos State government?
We paid annual returns to Lagos State government till date. We have evidence. We annexed it to the processes.
Okay, I would like to ask if you also have a suspicion if the involvement or relationship of your client with the former Labour Party presidential candidate may have in any way influenced the decision to lock down the place.
I will not play into political terrain. And I find myself always refusing to be compelled to do. I don't trudge into such, because that is not my field. I do not know. And I am not the Almighty God, so that I'll be in a position, capacity or able, to sit in my house and then I look up and I say, see what is going on. I cannot. Let me talk law, the one I know.
We've watched that video to the end, but they say that demolition transpired a lot of reactions online. People are saying that this is an indirect attack on P2B, that all these things are for P2B to be demoralized. Like everybody had their own opinion about this current incident that happened. Because people are saying that this is the government attacking P2B, this is the government trying to pay P2B back, or this is the government trying to silence P2B, and many things. And P2B have come out countless times to say that his family, his life have been on threat because he's an opposition in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you are not, they don't like anything called opposition. That's why I told you that P2B say that democracy in Nigeria have crumbled to the ground, because in democracy we have oppositions and you don't threaten your oppositions. You play your part, they play their parts. Who wins will win. So now there's a bit of reaction that this is an attack to P2B, but I want to get your own thoughts about that in the comment section. Do you think that this is the government going after P2B because P2B have been a threat to them, or otherwise? Let me get your thoughts about that in the comment section, guys. I will be with you guys in my next video.